Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I thank you so much for your extra patience today. But as you can see, our first presenter is Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, and he's the Minister for Home Affairs, Crime Prevention, and Persons with Disabilities. And today he will brief us on the St. Lucia Artificial Limb Center, which was launched not too long ago.
Good morning, press. This morning I'm here to briefly mention to you where we are with the St. Lucia Artificial Limb Center. So, some time ago earlier this year, Prime Minister would have mentioned in his budget that he actually made an allocation so that we could set up a proper prosthetic center right here in St. Lucia. And that came on the heels of individuals complaining about having access, individuals who require prosthetic limbs, complaining about having access to prosthetic limbs right here in St. Lucia. We had the National Councils for Persons with Disability who did prosthetic limbs for individuals from donated parts. However, we had issues with the way in which it was done in terms of the availability. Sometimes it's not readily available, and also in terms of the cost and affordability. So what we did on Friday, the Ministry of Home Affairs signed a memorandum of understanding with the Tapio Hospital and with Rotary Caribbean Plus. And the memorandum of understanding was to officially start off the St. Lucia Artificial Limb Center. The whole idea is to be able to create a center where individuals who have disabilities, mobility issues, who may require a prosthetic, and we have in excess of 400 individuals in this country who now require prosthetic limbs. So it is our hope, our earnest hope as a government, that having set up this center, individuals will now be able to access and afford. It's going to be very affordable given the fact that Rotary is involved. And I want to also say a heartfelt thank you to the medical associates under which the parent body for Tapio Hospital for providing us with the space. They gave us the space that we are going to utilize for the prosthetic center, and we've already started work on retrofitting that space. And what we did on Friday was just to do the official signing of the memorandum of understanding, and we've already procured the equipment that is going to be utilized at that center, and hopefully early next year, probably within the first quarter or by the second quarter of next year, we should be in a position where any St. Lucian who may require, and the prosthetic limbs may go beyond just, usually when we speak of prosthetic limbs here, we limit our minds to just feet or foot. However, what we're going to do here at the center will be able to provide also hands for individuals here, and fingers and other parts of the limbs that they may require. And one of the nice things about this whole initiative is that we already have individuals here in St. Lucia who have some experience in building and fitting prosthetic limbs. These individuals are also going to be part of this development. They too are going to be further trained. We have experts coming down from Virginia who are going to train them. They're going to be certified, and they will be in a position to provide even a better service for individuals here who require prosthetic limbs. So I think it is a huge milestone for individuals with the disability community here in St. Lucia, and I'm just happy to report on where we are to you this morning.
Any questions concerning the facility?
Okay, no questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Minister. Excuse me if you mentioned this already. What would the cost look like for everyday St. Lucians?
For a prosthetic limb, what I can tell you is I'm not in a position to give you a definite cost as we speak. However, I can assure you that it is going to be a lot more affordable. So currently, a below-knee prosthetic costs somewhere in the region, and that's with donated parts, quote unquote. It costs somewhere in the region of $6,000 to $10,000. That's a below-knee. If you're using an above-knee, prosthetic costs in excess of $10,000 to $12,000 because you need to put the knee for the flexibility. So, and it is making it extremely difficult for individuals who require it to be able to purchase it. We are looking to minimize that cost to ensure that whatever, because there is a cost involved in providing the service. However, the whole idea is not to become profitable, but to ensure that individuals can access limbs, and we understand the importance of limbs. And I can tell you personally, I stand before you this morning. I stand before you because I have a prosthetic limb, and we've seen instances in this country where individuals we've had to provide them with support, clinical support, psychosocial support, because of an accident or some trauma, and you can lose a limb. I mean, we have quite a few individuals who have lost limbs because of diabetes, but we also have quite a few young individuals who have lost limbs because of violence or accidents, and it can really create some level of trauma for these individuals. And we have a situation where somebody who lost a limb, a young lady, has children, and she would love to go to work. And the only reason she had not been able to go to work is because she did not have a prosthetic limb. So the whole idea is to be able to reinstate that level of economic independence, that physical independence. You have your mobility, you can move about without having to be indignified or somebody having to carry you. So the emphasis and focus is not really on the cost. We're going to make it affordable to all individuals in this country. And I know, having spoken to Prime Minister, he has already said that going into the new financial year, we will look to see what can we do as a government to almost, I don't want to say free of charge, but almost to give individuals who require a prosthetic limb. So it would be coming at a minimal cost, if you want to put it like that.